How do people get rich from scratch without capital and ridiculously transform their entire lives? Well, there is this thing called
content creation.
Content creating.
Content creation.
Content creation.
I see a lot of people who do content creation on social media. They put up pictures, brand new house or brand new car. And people keep asking, is that how this money is being made in this thing? I feel like every month or every 2 weeks, I see a new skits maker on social media posting a brand new house.
As common and casual that word is, it has been responsible for transforming the lives of many in no little way. People have literally pulled themselves by themselves out of poverty and transformed their lives and changed their story, amassing wealth and financial freedom along the way. All of this just by creating content and putting it on the internet for you and I to consume. Absolutely mind-blowing.
First of all, content creation is a career now. It's paying very well.
Yeah.
This in itself is an industry. Well, an industry many of us have ignored or thought so little of. Yet, a very profitable one. And the crazy part about all of this is that, unlike many of the other things you would do to attain wealth, this doesn't demand so much. You don't need so much capital to start, and that is exactly why I made this video. This is arguably the cheapest way to get wealthy. Not the easiest way, the cheapest way. And I'm going to show you how and everything that is involved, the steps to take and the moves to make. But then I know you have tried to make money because you need to. You have possibly tried a lot of things and it seems not to be enough. Yet there are too many problems to solve. The burden of having to manage every time is difficult to carry, and you feel you deserve freedom, financial freedom, rest from all the struggles. I know. And that is why I promise you, my friend, that after watching this video to the end and doing exactly accordingly to everything you learn here, you will be wealthy. Not today, but perhaps tomorrow. Welcome to this series where we uncover ways you can create wealth even when you are building from scratch and have no capital. The idea of this new series is to dissect practical methods to make wealth, methods that actually work. This is the first video in this series and I call this one the social media influencer paradox. I'm not sure I know what it means, but it sounds cool. So essentially, I just want to teach you how to become wealthy by being a social media influencer. Before we begin this journey where you learn how to obtain wealth by being a social media influencer, there are 3 words I want you to look at carefully. Social media influencer, of course. But does it ring a bell? Surely it does. It makes you think of your favorite celebrity, comedy skit maker, your favorite YouTuber or Twitter personality, someone you love or hate but definitely cannot avoid because he is all over the social media. But what does it mean exactly? What does it mean to be a social media influencer? Simply, a social media is someone on social media who has the ability to influence the decisions of other people on social media, usually his or her followers. Social media influencers are not people who are famous, popular, or have a high number of followers. No, they are people that can influence their followers' decisions. What decisions? Well, buying decisions for the context of this video. So let us get this straight. I'm not talking about people who are famous or people who have gone viral. I'm talking about people who have followers that love or trust or admire them. I'm talking about people who can influence the opinions or thinking patterns of their followers. These are the people that I'm talking about. There are a lot of famous or viral people who do not have this ability or who do not have a loyal fan base or an active community. That is far from what I am talking about. That is not who I want you to be. This detail is very, very important because how much you can possibly make in this sphere is determined by how much of an influencer you are. Alright, so here you are, no fan base, no online presence. You may not even be sure this is for you. You may not feel like this is what you want to do. Well, don't worry, you don't need feelings, you need money, so please just listen. Okay, here you are, you possibly do not have a skill. You may not have any idea, no talent or anything at all that you can leverage on. You may not even know how to speak properly. It doesn't matter. Sometimes you may not even have to say anything. I'm going to guide you so that you know where to start and where you're headed to. We will first talk about how to be a social media influencer before we talk about how all of it translates to wealth and financial freedom. How do we begin? Well, There are three things you need to determine: your content, your concept, and your platform. Let's start with your content. You want to be a social media influencer, you need content. You need the content you're going to be pouring out here on the internet. We know that you know that. What you may not know, however, is what content to put out, how to determine what you are going to be giving to us as content. This is what we call choosing a niche. There is literally anything you can do. The spectrum is pretty wide. I mean, you could do comedy if you think you can make people laugh. You could be a tech bro, you could be a music artist, even a traveler, or you could be these guys, whatever it is that they are, I'm not sure. The point is that there is so much you can be, yet you can't be everything. So whatever you are choosing, you must choose it carefully. To choose, the first question you have to ask yourself is, how good am I? Don't think about what is trending now or what is making the most money. Think about what you can do best. What are you good at and how good are you? A lot of people are into this content creation thing, but we will never get to know them because they are not good enough. Their content is mediocre, and because there is just too much content on the internet, people will only recognize excellent and good content. There is no space for mediocrity. This is very important, and you cannot afford to make a mistake here. If you want to start comedy skits, for example, you must be very funny with little efforts. It's non-negotiable unless you want to suffer. So essentially, you don't really choose your niche. Your skill set chooses your niche. Even though you are not very good at it, it has to be something you enjoy doing and really interested in doing. You know why? You are going to be doing it for a very long time without results. It is a very frustrating journey, and if it is not naturally part of you, if you don't enjoy doing it, it is going to be very difficult for you to be patient and hold on till it is time to reap the harvest. You are essentially going to give up. I will say that the more passionate you are about your niche, the easier it will become to both create great content and consistently publish content over the course of weeks, months, and even years. So you need to choose something that you love doing and you know that you are good at, or at least can be good at. Think about this carefully, please. If you are not exceptional at what you do, forget it. You are likely not going to end up anywhere. You are going nowhere. The rule is that you must be clearly remarkable. Remember, these rules I am making are not necessarily for content creators and internet personalities. Not everyone makes exceptional content. This video is for people that want to be social media influencers, people that want to master the art of creating wealth from their art. I need you to adopt this mindset and initiate yourself with it from the start. You must try as much as possible, as much as you can, to create a high quality content. You must put in the effort to make sure that your content stand out and give us the impression of high quality. Give us good content. With this understanding, I want you to pause the video, rush and get a pen and paper. Think well and write down 5 things which you believe you are good at, or you can be good at, and you can use as content. Think well. These are things that you should enjoy or have an interest in at least. Are you done? Now, keep that list. We will refer back to it occasionally in the video. Alright, let's talk about concept. Let me start by saying this. It is not enough to be good at what you do. You must be different. You don't understand, do you? I'm saying that it is not just about how good you are, but about how you do your things differently. Your style, your unique concept, your trademark, what makes you memorable and stand out. Okay, let me show you something. Stop. You see, for me, this is what makes Sabinus. Not necessarily the jokes, but this crazy expression. This other guy, Lai Wasabi, decided to bring his culture, his background, and walk in his father's shoes. Literally. Aproko Doctor decided to educate you and attack you at the same time. Jude OC decided it was going to be weird. Kagan decided it was not going to send your father. And this guy decided to build his business on his astonishing beauty. Swinging far from home, we see this guy. And I lack words to describe him. We have Mr. Beast, who has a pretty charitable style of content. Aaron is just so exciting to watch, and of course Kabi, he doesn't speak much. The list goes on and on. Every one of your favorite content creator have something that makes them unique. So how are you going to present yourself? How are you going to make your videos or your skits or whatever it is that you are doing? How are you going to make yourself unique? Because you must have your own style, something we can identify you for. You cannot be general. No. But really, this is why it is very important to have your own unique style as a content creator. 1. In some certain niche, it is almost impossible not to create similar content with others. For instance, if you are into tech or maybe news and information, something like that, the content is definitely going to be very similar or even the same. What differentiates you is having a unique presentation, which will help you differentiate yourself from others who may be creating similar content. 2. Brand identity. People will associate your content with a particular look or feel or message, making it easier for them to recognize you or connect with your brand and person on a different level. 3. And lastly, it makes you original and authentic.
Without further ado,
We move to the next stage. Well, the truth is that the type and style of your content will greatly influence what social media platform you use. There are a lot of channels available today. It is important that you choose the right one. You can't just randomly start uploading content to all of the platforms. Also, you can't give all of them equal priority and inputs. Man, it will drain you. Well, unless you are strong. There is TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Yes, Facebook. All the channels are not the same at all. TikTok is originally more suited for shorter content. YouTube originally more suited for longer content. Instagram is the undisputed boss when it comes to picture content and even also shorter content. The audience on TikTok is very different from that on Facebook, obviously. The strategy for gaining visibility is widely different for each. So you have to carefully select your channel based on the type and style of your content. Each platform have their disadvantage and advantage, their strengths and weaknesses. For instance, on YouTube, you can start making money earlier while you are still growing, unlike other platforms, because YouTube pays you based on how many views your video gets, unlike many other social platforms. But of course, you have to have at least 500 subscribers and videos that have hit 3,000 hours of watch time, or shorts that have hit 3 million in views. Good luck. Also, YouTube content has a longer lifespan. Your video can continue to generate views, engagement, and revenue over an extended period, even decades. But then YouTube can be so time consuming because you are going to likely post a long video on YouTube. You will likely spend more time creating and editing the video, and this can be very difficult. I know because I know how much I suffered to make this video. It's nearly killed me. And getting views and subscribers can be one very gigantic problem if you are just starting. The YouTube algorithm can be so, the maths is not mathsing at all, if that is a word. You will put in so much work into a video only to get 10 views after 10 market days. Trust me, it can depress you to the extent that you will start questioning your purpose in life. And there is TikTok, the easiest place to go viral in this world, arguably. The best part is that you don't have to spend so much time making a long video like this one. Just a 30-second clip has the crazy potential to generate you millions of views. On TikTok, you have creative freedom. You mustn't necessarily have high production quality or some fancy presentation and thumbnail. You just need to be startling or engaging. Also, if your target audience is a younger population, it's perfect. However, there is limited monetization. There aren't so many monetization options on TikTok and it sucks. The content there doesn't have long lifespan like YouTube. The views for each video dies off faster, so it is just more of a one period spike in views, and for many that's usually all. So you have to maintain a consistent posting schedule to maintain your engagement. It's the same thing with Instagram. Yet, Instagram is arguably the best for brand partnership and sponsorships, as its popularity amongst your favorite celebrities has made it a preferred platform for brands to collaborate with content creators. Facebook has been dying off slowly over the years, but it doesn't mean it's useless. It's a very much vibrant channel for you as a content creator. for most content creators. It also has good monetization, unlike Instagram. And then there is the hood, the streets, a place where anybody can connect with anybody and engage with anybody without remorse or respect, usually without respect. Twitter is a lot of things to a lot of people, but the biggest advantage of Twitter for content creators is networking opportunities. It is mad. It is so much easier to connect and collaborate on Twitter. It is so much easier to engage with your community or get discovered on Twitter. Of course, you can operate on multiple platforms, but you have to choose your primary platform. When you have chosen your primary channel, understand it, learn how to optimize your posts, learn how to go viral on it, learn about hashtags, stitches, trending sounds. Basically, learn everything you can possibly learn about virality on that platform. There are a lot of resources on that all over the internet. Remember, if you are good at what you do, if you are unique, and if you remain consistent, you are definitely on the right track. Okay, at this point, I have to stop and cut the chase. This is probably not the part that interests you. All you care about is how all of this translates to money in your pocket. Not just any kind of money. I said you are going to be wealthy. Let's say I find a niche, produce quality and unique content, and I'm even getting visibility on TikTok. And maybe my community is even growing. How does that make me a millionaire? You see, it doesn't. Yes, because these things do not necessarily make you an influencer. Like I said in the beginning, being an influencer isn't the same as having high follower count or just going viral. Being an influencer is being able to influence the buying decisions of other people. An influencer is someone that commands trust or admiration from his audience. Once you have reached a point where you have a large number of people who would trust you, who would love you or admire you or just like you enough to listen, you have hit the jackpot. For example, look at the highest paid influencer on Instagram. You probably know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Cristiano Ronaldo. You know why he's paid so much? It is not necessarily because he is so good and arguably the best in football. Messi is better. No, it is because of what he is off the pitch too. For millions of people, including me, Cristiano Ronaldo, Ororo, represent the product of hard work, diligence, and patience. Millions of people love his work ethic. They covet his mental strength and admire him. They want to be him, or at least they want a man like him. If today Ronaldo recommends an organic product for losing weight and maintaining shapes, do you know how many people will jump on it without thinking twice? Essentially, whatever that man asks his audience to buy would sell massively, not just because he has a massive audience, but because his massive audience is loyal. Having this kind of ability gives him the right to name his price and make a ton of money. Now, I want you to take a break and think about this carefully because it is going to affect how you plan on going about content creation and how you plan on branding yourself. Repeat this to yourself. It is not about having a high follower count. It is not about going viral. It is about being someone with a community that can trust me, that can love me, that can admire me, or that would listen to me. Anyone, any of these things. Daniel Rega almost has 1 million followers on TikTok, yet he barely enjoys the potential of such following. There are a lot of internet personalities with high following, especially on TikTok, respectfully speaking, but they are broke at home. Don't forget this. Now, look at the list you have written. Take 3 items which you think you will make more impact in. 3 items you think it is easier to build a community in, and you feel you can be more of an influence in. Now, if you want your audience to admire you or trust you, let alone love you, there is one golden rule to follow. Whatever you are doing, your content must be good. You must deliver high quality content. It still boils down to it again. If you're a vlogger like Tayo, your vlogs must give us that experience as though we were there with you. If you're a musician, you must drop crazy jams that make me forget my problems when I listen to you. If you're into personal development, your content must actually develop my life. And even if you're into beauty and makeup, your tutorials must make me find my man faster. Assuming I'm a woman, which I am not. High quality content demonstrates professionalism, it demonstrates expertise, and it shows that you are committed to giving value to your audience. When your content consistently meets or even exceeds expectations, it helps establish credibility and build trust with your followers. This trust is crucial for influencing their opinions, decisions, and actions. Quality content keep your audience engaged and coming back for more. When people find value in your content, they are more likely to engage with you, follow you, subscribe, like the video, or share it to others. Yes, and that is why you should subscribe to my YouTube channel, like the video, and share. Now, take note, high quality content doesn't necessarily mean high production value or expensive equipment. It is all about creating content that is well researched, well presented, relevant, and valuable to your target audience. Most times, to start, what you need is just internet connection, a good smartphone, and creativity. Emphasis on a good smartphone. Okay, I've said too much in this video, and this video is not even about how to be successful as a content creator. No, there is a ton of videos like that here on YouTube. This video is to tell you why you should become a social media influencer by showing you how you can obtain wealth through this means and obtain financial freedom for life. So let's dive into the juicy part. If you're already a content creator, this is the part you will like. How all of this translates to wealth. Well, it all starts with you realizing that this is not just a hobby. This is not a side gig or just a passion. This is a business, a full-fledged business, and therefore you must treat it as such. You are not just a content creator. You are a businessman, you are a businesswoman, and as a business, your channel or account or page would turn out to produce income through various means. The first is advertising and sponsorships. Brands would want you to partner with them to promote their products or services in your content, such as sponsored videos, sponsored social media posts, or even product placements. The brands will then pay you either through a one-time fee, a flat fee, or based on how many views or clicks or conversions you generate for them.
100 people who sign up with my link in the description.
The more engaging your content is, the higher you will charge, and the more offers you will receive. The more of an influencer you are, the higher the probability that your followers are going to buy, and definitely the higher you are going to charge. Okay, how much are we talking about? For example, on Instagram, these are the average payment rates for Instagram influencers based on how many followers they have. Now, this could be a lot more. It could be lesser for some people. For instance, Sabine used to charge 1.5 to 2 million naira per post or advert on his social media page, and he usually made about 10 million naira monthly from sponsored posts alone or adverts. That is of 2022. Today, majority of your favorite influencers charge more than 5 million naira per post or advert, and some of these people secure 2 to 5 sponsored deals per month on a regular. I just don't want to mention more specific names, but it is a fact, pure fact. And this is just one stream. Then there is direct earnings from YouTube ad revenue. Depending on what niche you are on YouTube and how consistently you upload videos, there is a massive potential here. People literally make tens of millions from YouTube or Facebook alone on a monthly basis. But of course, your video must hit very high views to make such money on YouTube. Not a problem when you are a social media influencer. For me, why YouTube ad revenue or YouTube earning is special, it's because it helps you build right from where you are standing. When nobody knows you, when no brand would approach you, you can make some money, improve your content, buy more equipment, hire a team, and most importantly, take care of yourself. Brand partnerships and collaborations. Content creators can collaborate with brands on long-term partnerships. They can become brand ambassadors. These partnerships often involve creating dedicated content for the brand, attending events, or representing the brand in various capacities. This partnership can be very lucrative. Today, macro Nigerian influencers charge 10 to hundreds of millions of naira per endorsement deals, where they promote the brand's products or image for a particular amount of time, usually agreed upon. A subtle example is this fine guy, Portable, securing a 50 million naira deal to be the brand ambassador of Odogu Bitters of Africa as of 2022. Obviously, there are much bigger names and much bigger deals that I can talk about, spanning hundreds of millions per deal, but I choose not to talk about the highest end of the spectrum. I don't want you to get too optimistic. And many a times, these are people that, if you look at closely, you can do as good a job. You might even be more talented. For some of them, they were once living in your neighborhood. They might have been your coursemate or your classmate in the university. So I want you to look at these people closely and draw inspiration from them. Merchandise. Also, one of the best ways you can make so much money as an influencer is that you create your own products and start selling to your community. You can sell branded clothing, accessories, or even digital products such as ebooks, online courses, shows, and performance or personalized content. Also, there is the part of sponsored events and public appearances. Eventually, you will get approached to attend sponsored events, brand launches, and other public appearances. You may be hired as event hosts, keynote speakers, or brand ambassadors, earning substantial fees for your time and presence. Additionally, you can monetize your skill and craft by conducting workshops, seminars, or speaking engagements related to your niche. You can host your own shows too, depending on what niche you are. Your favorite celebrity, your music artist, literally make tens to hundreds of millions from hosting live concerts or comedy performances where they sell tickets. So to say, the opportunities are endless and it is almost impossible not to be wealthy. And the best part of all of this is this, which is the focal point of this video. You do not need so much capital to start. Yes, along the line you may need more equipment, you may hire a team, but to start, all you really need is the internet, a smartphone, and your creativity. And of course, this video you have just watched. Once you combine this with talent, creativity, a superb content strategy, and maybe your mother's prayers, you're on the path to wealth. But don't be deceived. It is not as rosy as you can imagine it to be. This is a very challenging and frustrating journey, particularly for those starting from scratch without any pre-existing online presence or fan base. There are literally millions of individuals like you and I, and they are struggling to gain visibility or gain a following or just be noticed. Everyone wants to blow. There is a lot of competition. There is a lot of noise and it takes a lot to stand out. Building a community takes time, dedication, and consistent effort. Many of these successful influencers you admire today have spent years giving it their all, refining their content and improving themselves. They have invested so much into this thing and made sacrifices that will shock you. Just bear it at the back of your mind that expecting instant success will lead to frustration and disappointment. Of course, there have been a few people who have been lucky to blow up in a very short time, but the chance that you are going to be one of those people is very low. Developing a unique and engaging content strategy can be a demanding and time-consuming process. Being creative can be very hard. You may even think you have created something fantastic, and when you upload your video, people will just insult you and tell you that you should give up on content creation, that it is not for you, and that you're wasting your time and you should find something else doing. You may actually put out some fantastic content, really fantastic content, but for some strange astronomical reason, that content would never fetch views as it should. You will have to experiment, have trials and error, and constantly adapt in this journey. It may take numerous changes and refinements to finally arrive at that content concept that would make all the difference for you. And of course, growing subscribers or followers organically can be very slow and annoying, especially when you are starting from scratch. The algorithm on the social media platform you are working on might seem to be working with your village people to ensure that you are going nowhere. It will shock you. And this limited exposure, limited views can make you just give up on everything altogether. But you won't give up, right? But the worst part yet is that even after you have built a fan base or community, or you now have 100,000 subscribers or followers, making money may even begin to still look difficult. And you may discover that the brands that you dream of working with would never approach you. Instead, smaller brands or even sometimes shady brands might be the one approaching you, and they would not want to pay as much as you would want to be paid. It can take months or even years to reach that level of influence and credibility necessary to attract lucrative partnerships with top brands that would pay you well. I'm telling you all of this so that you set your priorities straight. It is not easy to make wealth. It is not different for a social media influencer. Patience becomes a key virtue if you want to embark on this journey. Consistency, perseverance, and a willingness to adapt and learn from your setbacks is very vital if you want to succeed here. Of course, I've not been very consistent on this channel due to unavoidable reasons, but I'm working on that. Focusing on the process and finding joy in creating content and adding value to your audience rather than solely chasing numbers will help you stay motivated during the slow periods. But eventually, if you stand the test of time and consistency, your life will change forever. I hope you don't see this as too stressful, because the truth is that you don't get wealth on a bed of roses. Except you have a solid and generous background. Many times that is not even enough guarantee that you are going to be wealthy. So one more time, look at that list again. Think carefully. Take several minutes or days or weeks to think about all of this and watch this video over again if you can. But you must start something. You can't keep waiting for the perfect time. It will never come. Actually, the perfect time is whenever you start. And if you learned something from this video, if I did not waste your time, please subscribe so that this won't be the last time you will see me. On this channel, I make videos on money, business, success, influence, and politics. I'm sure that is something you are interested in. Like I said earlier, this is going to be a new series and you should be expecting me to post another video talking about another strategy. So you have zero reason not to subscribe. See you soon, my friends.